drink. You want one?
No. I need to think.
Yes.
Tory's suicide. It doesn't make sense.
No suicide does, but I prefer not to revisit the details of this one at the moment.
Ross, when someone is about to kill themselves, there are usually signs.
Not always, dear.
Depression, isolation.
Our problem was we weren't looking at Tory. We were looking to get away from Tory.
What about the suicide note? Why did she make it out to me?
I imagine that she felt a good deal of regret and remorse over what she put you through.
Something doesn't add up. Because I don't believe she's dead.
Blake, I want you to stop it. Now, I don't know if it's the shock or the trauma which we're both experiencing, but Tory is dead.
I will believe that when I see it.
She committed suicide because she thought she was in love with me, and I have to come to terms with that, and you are not helping by maintaining that she's alive.
Ross, it's not your fault. You didn't do this. Tory has been afflicted since her husband died.
I should have seen it coming.
No, you should have seen the escalation of violence.
Which led to her self-destruction.
Twice. She said she was going to leave town. Twice.
Yes, I know that.
She abducted our children, Ross. She hijacked my car, and then she physically threatened and attacked me at St. Michael's.
And in her note, she said that when she attacked you, she knew that she had hit bottom. She'd lost everything, and she killed herself because of that.
How can you buy that?
How can I not? And how can you be so cold?
Because it kills me to see you tearing yourself up while she's out there lying in wait.
If Tory did fake her death, what's the motive?
You. She wants you. This is supposed to be the happiest time for us, Ross. We're finally planning our wedding.
I know.
Don't you see that's why I can't rest? Not until I know that she's dead.
I'm sorry about this, about all of it, more than you know.
There's that word again, Ross.
Sorry? Well, I am, yes, about everything.
You're not responsible.
If not me, then who?
Ross, you are not to blame for Tory's psychosis.
There was a connection between us, and it was real.
Well, yes, she was your assistant.
My assistant, yes, and much more than that. There was a bond between us.
A bond?
Yes.
What do you mean? What kind of bond? Ross.
It's true then? A reporter called and told me Tory committed suicide.
Yes.
Honey, where are you going?
I'm gonna go check on the boys. They're down the street at the Keys. I'll be right back.
You didn't tell Blake you slept with Tory.
I'm on the brink. I'm doing it tonight.
No, Ross, don't. You can't tell her now. Let it go to the grave with Tory. Otherwise, you ruin your family and its future. Don't tell me you don't see that.
I don't think you're right.
Well, the boys are fine. They'll be home as soon as they finish their little squirt gun fight they're doing. Hey, Ross.
What?
The boys, they have a little fort and topographical charts on all the backyards in the neighborhood. They're very serious. Just like their daddy.
So how are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Honestly?
Well, I'd be a hell of a lot better if you told me what I walked in on.
We were discussing the possibility of Tory faking her suicide.
As time passes without a body, I'm more and more convinced.
Well, after all you've been through, I can understand that. I can't blame you. But I hope you're wrong, for everyone's sake. I'll call you tomorrow.
All right. Drive safe. Where are you going?
For a walk. I have built so many of them, I thought I could give some advice to the kids on how to build a fortress.
Looks like you're too late.
Sorry about this.
What's going on?
Gotta ask you more questions about Tory's death.
Yeah, we thought that you'd be the go-to man with the answers.
I'm not in any condition to answer any questions.
All right, time out, time out. The question isn't how she died or why. The question is how are you going to prove she's alive?
We have an eyewitness who saw Tory jump into the water, Blake. We have a contrite, very believable suicide note.
But you don't have a body, do you?
It appears she took her own life.
That's what she wants you to think.
Okay, then you tell me. If it's not true, why does she want us to think it's true?
So she can continue to stalk me. Or something worse. Look, as long as you guys think that she's dead, she has permission to wreak havoc on my life, doesn't she?
It's an interesting theory.
Gus, this is the same woman who stalked us down in San Cristobal. She abducted my children. She hijacked my car in the middle of the night. She swore that she was leaving town, and then she turned around and she physically attacked me in a church while I was planning my wedding. This woman is capable of anything.
Yeah, capable of anything. I don't know. What do you think, Ross? What do you think of that theory?
He doesn't agree with me because he's not thinking
Really, is that
clearly.
right? Why is that?
Because he's obviously racked with guilt over Tory.
You're guilty about something, Ross? You feel guilty? Something you care to share with us?
Of course I feel guilty about Tory Granger. How could I not? I was her professor, her employer. And yet I didn't see how troubled she was. If I did, perhaps I could have prevented this tragedy.
There was nothing to prevent. She never died.
Then who is this dock worker looking for? And what about the suicide note?
Ross, Tory can write anything she
You
wants.
know,
It doesn't mean it's
of
true.
all people should see that her behavior indicated that she was becoming unhinged. She was on a downward spiral.
Or so she wants us to think.
Would you, Harley, please tell her that the evidence points to suicide?
It does. It points to suicide. But I have to say, Blake has made some very good points.
Thank you.
Yeah, but we haven't really come to any conclusions yet, and that's why we're here. To investigate. So, let's just start with you, Ross, shall we? Why are you so positive that Tory Granger killed herself? I mean, is there something that you know that we don't? Well, maybe there's just something that you left out. Maybe a little something that slipped your mind. Maybe something new.
No, there
something
isn't.
that you forgot to say. Maybe it's something that you didn't think was important, but now in hindsight you think, you know what, that is pretty important. Why? Because we are really missing something here.
Well, not necessarily.
No, wait, Harley, please. These are two very intelligent people, very savvy, sophisticated people, and they both have opposite spins on what's happening here. And there has to be a reason why.
To me, the reason is obvious. I'm going on the evidence. Blake is not.
I'm being too melodramatic for you.
I mean, just emotional because of the ordeal you went through with Tory just recently. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
No, actually, I think that Blake is clearer on this. She's actually looking at all the angles. But you, Ross, you on the other hand, you just seem willing, actually a little bit too willing, to accept this thing at face value. That Tory Granger committed suicide. It's almost like you want her to be dead.
Hey!
It's almost as if you are relieved that she's dead.
Haven't you heard a word we've told you? Tory was his student. She was his assistant. And she obviously mistook the attention and kindness that Ross paid her and thought it was more. Now, Ross made it clear to her that he did not return those feelings, and she couldn't handle it. She went off the deep end. Ross hates himself because he didn't see it coming.
He hates himself for something.
Look, Tory was unstable long before we entered the picture. And you were not the cause. And you shouldn't be taking this personally.
But he does. He takes it personally, don't you, Counselor? You take it personally. You take it very, very personally. Because there's something that you're not telling us.
Such as?
Such as the real reason that Tory Granger killed herself.
Look, I don't know what you're
Yes, you do.
implying,
Yes, you
but
do.
you are way
No,
out of
actually,
line.
you're out of line, Counselor, because you know impeding a police investigation is a crime within
All right,
itself.
hold it.
You
Hold
do
it.
know that.
Everybody hold it. Right now. I need you outside. Excuse us.
I don't believe what this is turning into.
Well, what are you doing in there?
He slept with her.
Yeah, I know you think that. Why are you letting them know you think that?
Well, the truth hurts, doesn't it?
It's not the truth. It's your theory. The one that you have no evidence
There's
about.
plenty of evidence. There's a ton of evidence. You're just his friend, so you can't see it.
Arturo, you have no proof.
The proof is in all of Tory Granger's actions. She told the whole town that she slept with the guy, and then she acted like a scorned lover. I think
Maybe
that's enough
she's
proof.
nuts. Maybe the whole thing is in her head.
She wasn't nuts until she moved to this
Maybe
town.
she was. Maybe Blake's right. We don't know what that girl was like before. After her husband died, maybe
After
she
her
went
husband
off
died,
the
she
deep
mourned
end.
her husband. She tried to move away, start her new life. She moved to this town. She enrolled in law school. She became a legal assistant. Does this sound so far like a nutcase? I don't think so. Then she works with Marler. She imagines in her head that she slept with the guy, and then she goes, "Postal, please." Come on. No, I don't think so. Something happened with him and that girl, and he's just not telling us.
Ross,
What?
don't let him bother you, okay? I'm sure he's still bitter because you decimated him on the witness stand.
No, I can understand how and why he would jump to the conclusion he did.
Gus is an idiot. Tory has been unstable for God knows how long.
No.
Yes, Ross. When she was married, before she was married, I'm sure what that librarian told me about her high school years is true.
Yeah, but after the makeover, which took place right here, she was bright, enthusiastic young woman, fun to be with, full of life.
Well, maybe so. But on the inside, a perfectly sane person just doesn't turn a 180 like that.
Not unless something devastating happens to them.
And nothing devastating happened to Tory, did it?
You have to understand, I have known Ross and Blake a very long time.
Well, you need a fresh perspective.
What I'm saying is, I think I know what this guy would do, and I just can't believe that he would cheat on Blake.
He's a man. He is a man. I don't have to say much more than that, okay? Besides, his age, around this time in a guy's life, your ego needs a little bit of a boost. You know, it's stroking. And Tori, she's kind of hot.
Yeah, so you keep saying.
I'm not saying that she's my type. I'm just, look, you spend a lot of hours together in close proximity. You know, work with somebody that closely, you're gonna end up in bed.
I love the way you make that little leap, that just because people are working together, they're sleeping together.
Well, oh, man, I just wish he would have listened to me when I offered a little help. I just...
How?
it saved
How
us a
did
lot
you
of
offer to
time.
help?
You know, I just offered to talk to the girl and make her see things a little more clearly.
You offered to scare her off.
No, No, I'm... What, do I seem like I could scare... that I would do such a... What is it? What? What?
Does the term misuse of authority mean anything to you? For example, say you brought somebody down to the station for something simple like a busted taillight, which, by the way, I think you broke. I never told you that, but I think you did.
No, I... Look, that's a long... Water under the bridge. Danny and I are, you know, we're at peace. And, well, and that was very difficult. Are you making fun of me? Nice. Are you making fun of me?
I'm not.
Are you giving me lip?
No, because
You're
I know
giving me
how...
a little bit of lip service. You're giving me lips. You're giving me lips.
We can't do this. We can't do this. We can't do this. You know why we can't do this? Because this is inappropriate and it's unprofessional.
Really?
And you know what? I'm trying to conduct an investigation in there, and I'm the lead on this case, right? Can I be the one to ask the questions?
Ask anything you'd like.
Your hands are cold,
I'll
and
be quiet.
I don't think he's going to answer any of our questions tonight anyway, because somebody I know put him on the defensive.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, trying to make me feel a little better, but I do feel responsible for what happened to Tory. It is at least partially my fault.
I wish you would stop saying that.
I made a mistake.
You don't have ESP, Ross. There's no way you could have known what was going on with Tory when no one else did.
Yes, there is, because I knew Tory in a way nobody else did.
What do you mean by that?
Are we interrupting anything?
Oh, no, no. And I'm not answering any more questions tonight.
Well, you don't have to. We won't be asking any. I think we all have enough to think about as it is.
Including my theory on Tory.
Including your theory.
Seriously.
We're not going to leave any stone unturned.
But right now, all the evidence, not feelings, not intuitions, the hard evidence, Blake, is pointing to suicide. By the way, I still need your formal statement, so I'll expect you at the station tomorrow.
Yes, we'll be there tomorrow morning.
Good night.
No stone unturned. I'll bet.
God, this has been a terrible day. And I want to think about anything but this. So why don't we just take a break?
It's fine with me, yeah.
I'll be upstairs.
No, Ross. I'm not gonna let you feel guilty for something you didn't do. I'm gonna prove it. When did you get up?
I don't know. It's early.
Must have been. You were out of bed before I got up.
And I was greeted with this.
Oh, Ross.
There it is in black and white. Tory Granger is dead.
Presumed dead.
Don't start.
Ross, I know what the paper says, but I
Blake,
still think that...
Blake. The young woman killed herself. She took her own life.
I know what it looks like. But I also know Tory Granger. And if there's a chance that she's alive, I'm gonna prove it. step one. I'm going back to the docks to see if I can find anybody else who can confirm what the so-called witness claimed he saw, and then I'm going to go
Blake, would you
check in on
stop?
the police reports. Then I have a friend who works at the phone company. I'm going to talk into giving
Blake,
me a lot
you
of
have
phone
to
calls.
stop, please.
I'm sorry.
This is taking over our lives.
Well, we don't have to let it.
It's as if Tory Granger is still alive. I should have stopped it when I had the chance, because week after week, she became more and more involved in our lives. And at one point, I encouraged her until it was just too late.
Ross, you can't blame yourself.
You know what happened is that Tory lost all sense of boundaries. And every day she became more of a presence in our life. Honey, we're engaged, but this is not the joyous time that it should be, because it's been completely overshadowed by Tory. And if it weren't for my stupidity and my weakness, she never would have latched onto us the way she did.
Ross, it's okay.
I led her on. I mean, at some point, I must have said or done something to lead her on. But we can't allow Tory now to reach back from the grave and break us up the way she tried to do in life. You have to let it go so we can be free of Tory.
What about you, Ross? You're the one not sleeping because you feel so guilty.
Yes, we both have to put it behind us, but I can't do that if you keep clinging to the idea that Tory is still alive. It's as if you're trying to keep her alive.
Is it that important to you that I let this go?
My God, yes.
Okay. And I will.
I love you. I have a meeting with a client, which I could cancel if you want me to.
No. The idea is to move on with our lives, right?
Yes.
So let's go do it.
You're the best. I'll be right back.
No, you are. Hi, it's me. I know it's early, I'm sorry, but, I need to talk. Could you come over here? Well, everybody seems to think I'm crazy. Maybe so, but I could use a second opinion.
You know, I have to admit, I'm not surprised that you called. Not after seeing this morning's paper. It's horrible about Tory Granger.
More than you know.
You and Ross must be going through hell.
More than you know. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be glib, sweetie.
You know, I half wish I could dissociate from my feelings right now. Because I can't help thinking that I might have prevented this suicide.
What?
Tory and I talked a few times. Of course, it was informal sessions, but I still can't help thinking that I should have read the signs better.
Well, what did you talk about? I mean, did she say anything?
Well, you know, I can't tell you. Tory was still technically a patient. But, you know, I did try to alert you to some of what she said, but you never returned my call.
Oh. Oh, my God, that's what that phone call was about. I had no idea. Ah. Well, can you tell me now? I mean, if Tory is dead, then technically the doctor-patient confidentiality doesn't apply, right?
You might find this disturbing.
It's okay, I can handle it.
Tory all but told me that she'd had an affair with Ross. Of course, I didn't believe her. She struck me as delusional, insisting that Ross was in love with her and that she'd end up with him sooner or later. But still, it's pretty jarring to hear.
Does Tory strike you as someone who could have committed suicide?
Apparently not, considering the outcome. But I guess it doesn't matter now. She's gone.
Is she?